Hi everyone, it's Kathy from To Die House. Today is Friday, May 22nd, 2020. I've been gone a while and I decided to start back up again. If you're new here, welcome. And if you've been here before and have subscribed, welcome back. I've certainly missed you and I've been really busy, but no excuse. I just lost my mojo. That's it. First, I want to thank everyone who reached out to me privately just to check in and make sure that I'm okay. And I am. Like I said, I just sort of lost my mojo right toward the end of last year. And then as soon as I thought it was kind of coming back, something would happen and it would set me back again. So I just wasn't in a really good mindset. I wasn't depressed or anything. Well, there were times where I was kind of like, but I just needed an extended break. And I know other floss tubers who have done that and come back too. But you've been on my mind and I've been watching you. For those of you who are making videos and all the newcomers to Flosstube, welcome. And yeah, I've been watching and there's a lot of great new content out there. All different types of stitchers doing all different types of things. Some that are not necessarily things that I would take time to stitch, but I love seeing what people are doing. Like, I would never stitch a hade. I mean, I guess never say never. It's just not on my radar. But I really love seeing other people do their hades because I'm fascinated by it. So there's a lot of great content, a lot of new people. I will, and I'm saying a lot. See, Barb? See what you did? Barb from Lost and Floss. Just gonna, I'm out of practice, so be gentle. Some of the people I've been watching are Brenda and the Serial Starter. They started up while I was away, and I've been watching them. And I'm being enabled by them like many other people are. I've been watching Kansas City Girl in a Colorado World, Julie. And I've watched her anyway, but she just finished her Mirabilia Snow Queen, and I had reached out to her on Instagram and she shared the red Hare Conversion with me. So, I will show you that in a little bit. I've been watching Jan Hicks Creates because she just, she always puts out such great things, you know, and I love kind of connecting with her, even though it's a one-way connection because she's reaching out through Flosstube. I haven't really been communicating back. I haven't been commenting or anything on anybody's videos. But I'm here. I'm watching you, Jan. And of course, Barbara from Lost and Floss, who was one of the reasons I decided to pick up videos again. The first reason that I decided to come back was that several people reached out to me and were telling me how much they missed me, which really just, thank you. And I think sometimes when you're on this side of it, you don't know who's watching. But it meant a lot to me, you know, and I was in a place where I was like, I need to get my mojo back. I need to get my sea legs back underneath me, so to speak. And, but then last night, I was watching Barbara from Lost and Floss, and she sort of threw down the gauntlet with the stitch along that we're doing together. And, yeah, so it was time. It was time. It's nice to be back with you. And then the final person I've been watching, and I've been watching her Flosstube, but I actually know her, so I watch her in real life pre-quarantine. And that's Barbara's daughter, Kim. She's in the stitching group that I belong to. And so I get to see her amazing progress on all. She's a machine. She is a stitching machine, that woman. Her last video, she was like, stitch, finish, stitch, finish. And I was like, oh my God, the pressure. So I'm not that prolific a stitcher. I want to be, but I'm not. Okay, so what I'm going to have for you today, a little bit of a life update, some whips, some finishes, a little bit of haul. I'm not doing 6 months of haul to you because that would be like, that would take hours. But I did do the market thing, you know, I do every year. But I have some more recent things that I wanted to share with you, so I'll share those. And I guess that's about it. So let's get started. Life update. What have I been doing for the last 6 months, you ask? Well, I'm working and I've always worked from home. So the switch to our company's work from home policy, where everybody is working from home, wasn't new to me, but a lot of people are having a hard time adjusting. Especially since their kids are home and they're still trying to multitask with homeschooling and working, and there's a lot going on for those people. For me, it was not a big adjustment. I was working from home anyway. Darren is home. His company or his business shut down, so he has been home, and I think that's probably the biggest adjustment for me is having him here 24/7. But I'd rather have him here than dealing with or just being out amongst the public. And for the first month, he was still going in. And, you know, I have to say, like, in the back of my mind, I was a little worried. Like, who's he talked to face-to-face today? It was before the whole mask initiative. And is he going to bring it home? So I was kind of glad that, you know, that he's home with me. Plus, he's really relaxed and chilled out, which is great. And he's doing projects, which I have a list. He's not ticking it off very fast, but you know what? It's been years since he had a real vacation and a real break, and I'm like, you know what? Just chill out, relax. And I think because I'm just sort of like, you know, when you get to it, he's been doing good. So, he's a much happier person, which tells me he's going to be really good at retirement, like I will be. So that's kind of around the whole COVID thing. I have been making masks, and I started that in March. I've been making masks, and it started with a friend of mine who works at a hospital, and like right around the time the whole thing kind of blew up, they were really low on PPE, and they were really trying to make the most of the PPE they had. So she reached out to me and said, could you just make me some fabric masks to extend my N95s? And that sort of kicked it off for me. So I've been doing masks. I've been doing, you know, like a little creepier fabric. Now, this is not something that's going into a hospital, because could you imagine being a sick patient and seeing bats and like ghosts? But for my friends who are working in service industries, who enjoy this type of thing, I've been making these for them. And then the other side of it is just like a mottled black fabric. And then I've been making, I think it's so cute, the otters. I think cute little otter masks, just solid back. And because Darren is still doing his telescope thing, I've been making, I call them Galacta Masks because they're galactic. But I found this really cool kind of sparkly galactic fabric. So I've been doing that. That's one of the types of aid. And I think I have a pretty toile fabric, but I just sent out my last one with the toile. Oh, nope, here's one. So I have a pretty like black and white toile fabric. And so as people are requesting them, my family has masks now. Darren and I each have kind of our mask wardrobe. We have several different kinds, and yeah, so I'm making them. And now that the initial rush has sort of quieted down, I just make a few at a time, and I'm keeping a stockpile. So I did make a bunch in our local EMT our emergency squad, the EMTs were in desperate need as well. So I made a bunch one weekend, and they came and picked them up, and they were so grateful. I haven't had one person or group of people say to me it's not good enough, because I look at them and I'm like, the lines aren't straight, and are they big enough? And they were like, we're just grateful for what we can get, and that meant a lot to me too, but yeah, I really like helping the people who take care of us, taking care of the people who take care of you. So I've been doing masks. Our bear is back. It's springtime, so that means everybody's out of hibernation and awake and roaming around, and I'll put in a little video or a picture. Barney's back, and he's been raiding the bird feeders. He's got a lot of eating to do. Our stitching group, we usually meet up at Needleworkers Delight on a monthly basis. Obviously, we can't do that now, so we are doing Zoom meetings, or Zoom meetups, a couple times a week, and we did 24 hours of cross stitch. We just set up a whole weekend meeting, and people could come and go into the Zoom room as they pleased. It was a lot of fun. And I know a lot of people are doing that, but I think it's really great to be able to still connect and stay in touch. Even though it's not the easiest of circumstances, it's a good feeling. The other thing I've been doing, not stitching related, but I'm trying to make it stitching related. At some point I will. Is I received a Cricut Maker 2 years ago for Christmas. Over 2 years. Darren gave it to me. And I had asked for one because I wanted to be able to make like little mats and things to mount my cross stitch. So I actually got this mat board when I was watching one of Vanna's tutorials. She uses the mat board for flat folds. So then I started thinking, well, geez, I wonder if the Cricut Maker, which cuts into the thicker materials, would be useful. So I asked for one, left it in the box for almost 2.5 years. I finally pulled that out, and I was like, okay, I'd watched videos and stuff, and I was like, it's too complicated, there's too much going on, and I was like, it's just because you need to learn how to do it, and then it'll become second nature. So I started playing around with that. I'm doing the basic stuff, like just single square cutouts. I'm not doing anything elaborate. I see all these filigree things, and I was like, well, slow down. So I just recently started working with that. Okay. And then, like I said, work. Still working from home, which is great. And I guess that's about it. I've been stitching, watching movies. So let's get into some whips. Let me show you what I'm up to. Now, I fully admit, it's been so long with some of this stuff, I don't remember the fabric that I selected. But some of this stuff you'll recognize. All right. So this is Harbor Haven. This is by the Bay Needle Art. Here is, ooh, I got a ring light. And everything reflects, including my forehead. Okay, so by the Bay, Needle Art, Harbor Haven. You would say to yourself, have you not finished that yet? I have not, but I'm getting close. I'm beyond the halfway point. So I am at scene number 5, and I just started this one. but I'm working backwards from 12. So because I like to work from right to left, so I started with seam number 12. So I have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I have 5 left. So I have 7 done. And this is where I'm at. Can you see it okay? See, it's been a while. I'm out of practice. So like I said, I just started seam number 5 down here on the right. And I'm stitching this on 36 count Peaceful Waters by Silk Weaver. I started it on January 13th, 2019. It's been over a year. I feel like this is one where I'm like, just get it done. Really. It's not a difficult stitch either. It's just, it's just big. So that's my Harbor Haven. One thing I did do, and I had mentioned this in prior videos, is I took the people out of the seams and I just stitched right whatever, I continued the color on. So in the original chart, I don't know if you can see it. It's pretty teeny. But in the original chart, right in the middle there, there's a fisherman and a girl. I took those out of mine. I just wanted the harbor. So that's where I'm at with that one. Yes, I'm putting away as I go. I'd forgotten how much work these videos are. I'm sure that was another reason I was like, oh, I got to get all the stuff out, and then I got to put it all away. Okay. So that's something I've been working on. The second thing I've been working on is the Linens and Threads Mystery Sampler. Now, I know, and Jan, I know that you mentioned this in one of your videos, so thank you. But I am actually keeping up with this as the months progress. And I completed May last week. I'm just trying to look for the most recent. This is the February. So they're just, they released them. It's a free sampler. And I will post the link to the sampler below. If you're interested in doing it, there's a Facebook group you can join. People are posting pictures of their progress. But it's free. And it's a Quaker style sampler, which is right up my alley, which is something I really love. And with every release, they're doing like a bonus Quaker Christmas ornament with it as well. So I'm really loving it. I'm really loving it. Now the fabric I chose, I'm doing it 1/2. And I'm doing it on 40 count blush. So this is how far I am, but you can see it's very tone on tone. And I've been able to keep up every month, so it's not getting out of control. It's not like I have, 6 months to catch up on. I've been doing it every month, and I've been trying to complete every month within like the first week to 10 days of the month. So let's see if I put something white behind it, if it shows a little better, maybe. Not sure. But it's very tone on tone. It's very soft colors. It's really hard to photograph this. So I've been posting pictures of my progress on it, but I'm like, yeah, it still doesn't look the same as it does in person. So I guess maybe once I get it framed, it'll photograph a little bit. I don't know. But one of the reasons I did this, it's family and friends. And I was thinking of, there was a woman who in 2017 was doing the free mystery sampler. And she did these beautiful soft colors on this cream fabric with like the palest pink and a very light gold and white and cream. It was stunning. And every month I would start looking for her post. So that sort of inspired my color choices this time around. And also the friends and family name just kind of, I was like, I was really thinking of my mother when I picked out this pink. Pink was my mom's favorite color. So the thing is, in each release, there are initials. I'm leaving those out until the very end, and then I'll figure out, I either will spell my mom's name throughout, or maybe I'll just leave them out altogether. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but because I didn't know, I didn't want to put something in and have to tear it out. I'd rather wait until I'm done and see how I'm feeling and what I want to do with that. All right. So I've been working on that every month. Some of the other things I've worked on and have finished. So I will show you those as part of finishes. Now, this is when I watched Barbara from Lost and Floss last night. And she was talking about the stitch along that we're doing. And she was like, yeah, Kathy's like me with stitch alongs. She's not making a lot of progress. And honestly, I started it in May. I haven't made a lot of progress. She's not lying. But it was like, I felt the challenge of that statement. Like, get it together, girl, and get stitching. So, I was going to do Mania. I had the best intentions on April 30th. By like May 5th, I had blown it out of the water. Because now I'm like, I have like ADD. I'm like, squirrel, I'll do that one, squirrel. And you'll see in a minute. I just had a squirrel moment last night. So the stitch along that we are doing, and I'll put the hashtag in here, is After the Roses SAL. And Barbara from Lost and Floss and I are doing it together. And it's an Ink Circles design. And it's called After the Roses. Isn't it pretty? And then it has a little pillow as well you can do. Now, I kitted this completely from Stash. Everything I had is Ink Circles. And this is where I'm at. So I started out, like, the first couple of days I was really cranking. And then I put it aside for something else. And sure enough. So this is where I'm at. I just have that done. She's much further than I am. And I did kit from Stash, so my flosses are a bit all over the place. But these are my colors. I don't know what's... So I have a little bit of everything. I have Hand Dyed by Rolanda. I have classic or color and cotton. I have some Victorian motto in here. I have some Gentle Arts in here. Classic Colorworks in here. So I have a little of everything going on in this sampler. I just really went for colors that I liked and I thought would look really good against this fabric. And what fabric am I using? Oh, I'm using the 36 count Peaceful Waters that I'm using for the Harbor Haven piece. Because when I bought that, I got such a huge piece because I needed a really long piece. I have a ton left over. So whenever I can grab that and make use of it, I'm doing that. And again, so here we go. I did not press these because they're just going to get wrinkled again. So, I would like to say to Barbara, challenge accepted. I will be back on this weekend. And it's a long weekend, so I'm going to have time to do it. I lied. The fabric is not Peaceful Waters. The fabric is called Rue Green. And it is a 36 count. So I'm doing 2 over 2 on 36. And that is Silk Weaver Rue Green. I write the cards out. I need to read them. Also, one thing that Barbara mentioned in her video, if you're doing any ink circles designs, they tend to be, you know, no matter what direction you're holding them in, all 4 quadrants are the same. So sometimes it's a little confusing. I put a little stitch up in the corner just so I knew where my top left was. And then that way I know I have the proper orientation every time I pick it up, because I can imagine that people get confused and are like, which way was I holding it and which way are my X's going? And so, yes, Barbara, I will be back on it. Thank you for nudging me. I needed the nudge because I was getting distracted with other things. So I needed the nudge. I needed the redirection back to the ink circles. So I've been working on that. Now here are some of my squirrels that are driving me away from... You know what? I forgot my biggest whip. I'll be right back. I can't believe I forgot her. I feel like, how could I have forgotten her? So the other thing that I've been working on is, as I was mentioning earlier, Julie, Kansas City girl in a Colorado world, gave me the Hare Conversion. So if you want to convert this using her conversion, some things never change. The cat just jumped up. Excuse me, just a moment. He's looking at, I've got a ring light. He's looking like he wants to jump through the ring light like a circus animal. Okay? See? Some things just like, some things never change. That cat, every time I'm in here, jumps up onto this table. Okay. What was I talking about? Mirabilia. Julie, Kansas City girl in Colorado world. She just finished this and it's stunning. She did hers on a fabric called Polywog Princess, so it's a lighter fabric. I'm doing mine on a darker fabric. But it is Snow Queen, Mirabilia. And this is where I'm at. This is my Sunday stitch right now. Every Sunday, she comes out. And I did not take her, but this is where I'm at with her. Let me see if I can make this a little, so you can see more of it. So Julie had converted the hair to red hair. Julie's a redhead as well. And she very graciously shared that conversion with me. And I've been working on this bad boy since, when did I start this? I was going to start, I think maybe I mentioned to you my last video, which was 6 months ago, so it may not be right, but I think I mentioned that I was going to try and start it for like the winter solstice. I didn't make that. I didn't start it until January. In fact, I think I started it January 1st. So it was my new year, new start. And I'm doing this on a 32 count winter solstice by Fabrics by Stephanie. And it's a beautiful fabric. It's like, that's pretty true. That kind of midnight blue. Yeah. Glad I have that ring light. It's much better than trying to maneuver around sunlight and things. So that's my girl. It's very slow. I mean, the antlers on this, I made a mistake. And just because of how detailed and intricate it is, I feel like if there's an error, I do need to go back and fix it. Because I can see where maybe down the road it would cause a domino effect problem. So I've been very slow and steady with this. And when I find an error that I made, and so far, knock wood, I haven't made many. But when I do find them, I go back and fix them. So I'm just hoping to get her done. I'd like to by the end of the year, but honestly, I don't have a goal for her. I'm like every Sunday. She and I spend the afternoon together every Sunday. So that's my biggest whip. Okay. And then I'll leave this for plans, and that's plans as well. Okay, so finishes. I have been stitching. This first finish happened in January. I had started it November last year with Barb and Leanne. I lost some floss, and I was happy that I was able to finish it and post it to Instagram before she passed away. But I really, her passing kind of hit me a little bit. And so I needed some time to sort of heal from that, because it just broke my heart, you know? And I'm really happy to see Barbara continue on. That makes my heart happy. So, what am I trying to say? I love everybody. So, it's Baby It's Cold Outside, Heartstring Samplery. This, the original chart does have a border around it. I did not complete the border because I want to do it on a flat fold, and I thought the border would constrain me. And also, sometimes I have an issue with cutting straight lines. Not sometimes. Usually I do. So I was like, well, if there's no border, it's not going to look crooked. Let myself off the hook on that one. So that's my first finish. That was, I think I did that in January. This was one of the Magical Mystery Tour pieces from Blackbird Designs, and this is Eleanor Rigby. And I think I also stitched this on a rue green. Oops. And I just completely kitted it from stash. I'm telling you, with these Magical Mystery Tours, it was the same when I had done Yellow Submarine last year. When I pick them up, I can't put them down. Everything else gets put to the side. And yeah, it's Blackbird. This was a really old, I needed a quick win. And this had been in my stash 20 years, maybe. It's a Bent Creek. It was a little kit. And it's a chick on an egg. And I was like, I just need a quick win, or, you know, I need something to be able to stitch while I'm talking that's not, you know, super intensive. Bent Creek, chicken on an egg. I have another kit, same series, that's the eagle on an egg. I should pull that out and do that one. This was a Threadworks Primitive chart. Again, completely kitted from stash. But I must have done this around February because it's a Valentine. So it's a little, just like a little Valentine keepsake. Not FFO'd. None of these are FFO'd. So I need to, when I'm on vacation in about a month or so, I need to spend a good day or two. I need to spend a day or two just cleaning my craft room and organizing it. And then another day or two disorganizing it again and finishing things. So, but that's a Threadwork Primitive chart. This was a cotton and twine. My last video in November, I did share this with you. It was Cotton and Twine is a company in the UK, and they were doing these kits, and I had a 6-month subscription. That's ended. I didn't renew it. But I started that subscription because of this piece, and I love it. I haven't fully finished it, but I still have the rest of the kit, so I can fully finish it. It is really pretty, but it is Confetti City, and it's just Noel. And that company, again, is Cotton and Twine. If you have any questions about that, let me know, and I will connect you to their website. Did I have that upside down the whole time? I bet you I did. There we go. So that's Noel. And like I said, their kits come in a really pretty box. They have all your finishing materials. They have usually some sort of specialty tea from the UK, and usually a little treat as well. Orion, come here, hon. Daphne, no. Oh, excuse me. Okay. Had a feline canine interaction, and somebody was getting ready to come into my craft room, and I was like, there are wires and lights, and could have been a fiasco. Here's another kit. I finished this. This is Shepherd's Bush, a simple egg. Again, I had this kit for years. Now, I will tell you that I was like, it was the title that drew me to it because I was looking for a quick win. It says a simple egg. Here it is. Sorry. Line management. Whoop. You okay, buddy? A simple egg. Shepherd's Bush. There was nothing simple about this. There were 4-letter words flying with this one. Well, maybe not flying, but I had to rework a couple of different parts of it. So that I finished, and I just didn't finish that just about a month ago. And then finally, this is my most recent finish. I just finished this the other night. This is a Rosewood Manor spring. And the flosses are, I can't remember the name, hand-dyed embroidery. But they came with the chart, and then I just picked out, I'm using the same blush fabric that I'm using for that Linens and Threads mystery sampler. And I stitched it 1/2. And that was Rosewood Manor Spring. So I think it's kind of funky looking though. I had done, I think I showed in my last video, I'll have to go back and look. I think I had showed you the winter one that had like the different diamonds and different shapes in it. And this is the spring. Now I have summer and autumn as well. And I will probably pick up summer sometime next month in June. Try to get that one out. So those are all my finishes. And then on deck, and I just kitted this up last night, and I love it, is Coffee First. This was a market release by Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle. Just a cute little pillow. Isn't that pretty? And I was like, oh, I'll make, it's stitched on 40 count, vintage country mocha. I didn't have vintage country mocha in 40 count. I have a 36, but I just wanted it to be. So I found this little scrap mystery fabric that I'll be using. And then I kitted it up from Stash. tried to match the colors as best I could. And that's what I'm going with. So I will be starting that this weekend. See, I need to do my ink circles one. But right now, this is really calling me. And I have, when I was plowing through my stash last night, looking at a couple things, I found this coffee bean fabric to finish the back with. So the coffee bean fabric with this fabric, it's a little too white. So I'm going to take the coffee bean fabric and I'm going to dunk it in coffee. That's what I'm doing. Let's see how it turns out. So that I kitted up last night. These were all things that I had planned for Mania that are not going to be, they're not going to be done. I mean, clock's a ticking and I'm not even started a meet. So, but I kind of, when I was planning my Mania, I was going for kits. Things that I didn't have to kit up. And I was also watching Michelle Rudy Farm Girl at the time. And some of these were inspired by her. So I know she just finished stitching this. This is a full coverage piece. It is Rose Bouquet. It's a kit. And it's by Samplers Not Forgotten. So this little band is full coverage. And then, but it comes with the fabric and everything you need to finish it and make it into that darling little pillow. This, I think, was a club kit. For a Friend by La Di Da. I believe this is the Silver Needles Circle of Friends Club Kit. I think. I might be wrong on that. But here's a close-up of it. Pretty neat, right? Also looks like a simple stitch. This was a club I signed up for. We kind of laugh in our group because we were all like, every year you make the resolution, I'm not going to spend any money. And people in my group did really well. You know, I mean, I think Market probably does everybody in at some point. For me, I was like, I made it to like 12:04. I made it 4 minutes into the new year before I paid for something, you know, before I bought something. But this is Scattered Seed Samplers. And she has a club. She has a quarterly release. So I was like, well, I want to get in on that. And it's Little Wren. Again, completely kitted. And look at that little nest charm with the eggs in it. Isn't that cute? So I was going to do that for Mania. Didn't get it started. And then finally, well, I have two more. Both of these were Market. This is also La Di Da, and it's the Blue Flower Drum Kit. I saw somebody just doing this. Can't recall who it was. But anyway, that's what that looks like. Isn't it pretty? Tire kit comes with everything. And then finally, let me get the cat out of the way. Oh, something went down. Finally, this was, I actually got this from the Cottage Needle. I just ordered the chart. I was going to kit it up myself. They accidentally sent me the entire kit. And when they reached out to me and they were like, did you get the chart? Did you get the kit? What did you order? I said, well, I ordered the chart, but I think I got the kit. And when I came up and checked, sure enough, it was the whole thing. So they were like, keep the kit. But they're very good to their customers. And I feel guilty. You know, it's like I received something I didn't pay for, and they were like, nope, our mistake. You keep it. So, I love it. It's beautiful. It's by a company called Avlia, and it's a Flore border kit. Isn't that pretty? And it's like you make it into a little mat. And I have a little table in my foyer that I thought that would look pretty on. Complete kit. So these are all still, they're not going to be started in May, but I have a little project bag here of all my stuff that has kits in it. So this is my, when I need to do something fast and I'm pressed for time and I don't have time to sit with my floss and my fabrics and kit stuff up, go to this is the plan. Okay, and then a little bit of haul. Let me grab what went down on the floor here. They were cute. Okay. And I'll show you these first, as a matter of fact. So, I know a lot of people, Connie from Count Twice, Stitch Once, she's really big into Mill Hill. And, you know, their stuff is really nice. They give you everything you need. Here come our landscapers, so I need to, like, wrap this up. So I picked up a couple Mill Hill kits. Make Every Day Earth Day. These are painted pumpkins. This is called the Witching Pumpkin. Isn't that pretty? Yes, Daphne, I'm aware. Thank you. I love this one. I'm such a fan of Paisley. It's called Persian Pumpkin. Isn't that pretty? Love that. So I got those Mill Hill ones. From Brenda Gervais. Well, it's a Brenda Gervais chart. Project Quarantine. I've seen a number of people working on this now. Stay Home and Stitch. Love it. Kim from Barbara's Daughter graciously sent this on to me when she was done. I was having a hard time finding it. And it's the I Collect. Also Brenda Gervais with my needle. Darren's uncle is cleaning out his house, and it was his mother's house, and found this big container. It's a cigar container, I think. Havana Fives cigars. Big container, and he brought it over to me full of vintage buttons. There's some other things in here, too, that I don't know what they are. Like, what's that? No idea. Anybody know what this is? Completely, I have no clue. There's an old vintage wheel in here. But then, it's mostly just tons of vintage buttons in there. So my plan is for the I Collect to go to this jar, or to this tin, and use some of these vintage buttons to complete that piece. Pretty neat, right? I'm telling you what, his family has treasure trove of everything. Okay. I don't know why I never picked this up. I remember eyeing it. I wonder if I have it somewhere and I just never logged it into my log. But I did get it because it's beautiful. And it's called the Fresh Picked Pin Keep, and it's Stacy Nash Primitives. But I just thought it was so pretty. Again, I don't know why I feel like I might have this already. If I do, there's a giveaway coming. This was, I just got this. I ordered it from Needle Case Goodies. It's Heartstring Samplery, Flanders Fields, Biscornu. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at that Biscornu. Her Biscornu series is really, it's stunning. And then finally, this is by no means all my haul. I'm not going to lie. I've been buying. So, but I'm not going to bore you with all of it. Most of it you've already seen because most of it's market stuff or stuff you've seen before. But this is something I'd never seen before. And on the Needle Case Goodies website, on her Etsy page, she posted it like for an instant gratification for stitchers to, it's a PDF download. So then I started checking it out, and it's by a company. The designer is called Cherry Hill Stitchery. They have a Facebook page. She also has her own Etsy shop with PDFs. Go check her out. I'll put the link down below to both Needle Case Goodies and to Cherry Hill Stitchery so that you can go and check out her designs. They're darling. They're darling. But the one that I downloaded, and I would like to also start this weekend, is called We Remember. Isn't that pretty? And again, it's Cherry Hill Stitchery. So I did download a couple of her charts. She has a Saltbox House series. The feel of it is reminiscent to By the Bay for some reason. Like, it feels the same to me. Maybe because the same color palette, sort of. She has a cute little eagle one that I downloaded. She has a cute Christmas one that says it's all fun and games until Santa checks the naughty list. And yeah, so I will put a link, her Etsy shop, Cherry Hill Stitchery, as well as Needle Case Goodies. You can get them from either place. Download them from either place. And I think Cherry Hill, her Etsy shop, I think she will actually mail a physical copy if you'd prefer that. Okay, so I know it was a bit of a rough start, and I'm sorry. I'm out of practice. But that's gonna wrap it up for me for now. I'm hoping to be back sooner rather than later and get back into the swing of things. I don't know when that will be, but it feels good to be back. So I will see you soon. Take care of yourselves. Take care of yourselves when you're out and about if you have to be. If you don't have to be, just stay home and stitch. We have plenty of really great things to do at home. So take care, be well, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.